All right, so let's go over the homework from last night, and then from there we'll finish up on earthquakes and maybe do the rest of death, destruction, and despair, also known as earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanoes. Okay, so problem number one, what should the P wave arrival time be?
Number one?
For number one.
104.
Right, so it should be 104. What should the S wave arrival time be? 106.20. Good, right? We did those two together. So then what's the lag time? You guys need we need units. So if it's 220, it's 2 what?
2 minutes, 20 seconds.
2 minutes, 20 seconds. Good. So then what's the epicenter distance? It's 1,400 kilometers. So then what is the P wave travel time? 3 minutes. Good. What is the S wave travel time? 5 minutes and 20 seconds. So then the origin time is? Did you guys get confused on the origin time? So how to figure out the origin time? Hold on, this is so loud. This protector is very loud. Okay, so to figure out the origin time is going to be in the past, right? So it's how you need to know how long that the P and the S wave will take to get to you at the seismic station, right? In order to figure out the origin time, because the earthquake happens here, but by the time it gets to you, it takes 5 minutes, however long it takes. That means if right now it's 8:53 when you record the first P wave that shows up, the origin time would be 5 minutes behind us. So if it's 8:53 right now, what is 5 minus 8:53? 8:48. So that means the origin time for the earthquake was 8:48 a.m. So it doesn't matter if you use the P wave time or the S wave time. You just have to be consistent. Okay? Personally, what I would use is the one that's the easiest. In other words, the one that's going to give me the easiest numbers. So when you do this, right, we said that the S wave arrival time was 06:20, right? So that's the S wave arrival time, right? It says that the S wave travel time was 5 minutes and 20 seconds. So you subtract those two and you end up with 1:01:00. And that would be your origin time. Now the reason I picked the S wave is because the numbers are super easy. You could have done the same thing with the P wave. Just to make sure you did your math right, if you look at the P wave, the arrival time was just shut it off. 1:04:00, right? It took 3 minutes and 0 seconds to get there. So you end up with 1:01:00 as the arrival time. That's how you're going to check yourself to make sure you did it correct. Okay? It does not matter if you use the P wave or the S wave to figure out the origin time, as long as you're consistent. So you need the arrival time and the travel time. Okay? Okay, most of you guys did not do this homework. I want you to do problem number 2. Guys, I don't go over, I don't take time to do stuff like this unless you need it, and I really think you need it. So let's see. Problem number 2, what was the arrival time?
4 minutes, or 4:29:40.
4:29:40. Agree or disagree? I agree. Okay, so let's see. So the thing is how much is each one of these lines worth? 20. So if you draw it, the first spike, okay, that's not really straight in any way, shape, or form. The first strike is at 40. It doesn't really fall between. Take a straight edge and do it just to make sure. Okay, it should be 4:29:40. 40. Okay? So where the P wave starts, where the wave starts for the P wave is going to be where you have your arrival time. What about for the S wave arrival time?
4:32:40.
You have 4:32:40. Did anybody get anything different? What'd you have?
Comes 4:32:30.
That's what I got. Let's see, 4:32. Okay, I can't draw a straight line today, apparently. I got 30. We're going to go with 30. So here's the thing, okay? You want to round to the nearest 10. All right, you don't want it to be like 35 because it's getting way too complicated with that. With this, you want to round to the nearest 10. But if this was a test, just so that you guys all know, it would have said like plus or minus 10 seconds. Okay? Okay, so then what's the lag time? What's the difference between the two?
3 minutes.
What?
3 minutes.
So if you have P wave travel time is 4:29:40, and the S wave travel time is 4:32:30. So let's look. So P wave travel time is 4:29:40. Oh wait, no, I lied. The whole thing disappeared. 4:32:30 minus 4:29:40. Right? We have to borrow a minute from here. Okay. Right, and make that 31. Okay. Okay, I love when things work. 31. Right? So if we make that 31, right, then you make this more. You make this 90 because you have to add 60 to it. So this becomes 90 because we borrowed a minute, right? Which means we add 60 seconds, right? So then this is going to be 50. 31 minus 29 is? 2. Right? And 4 minus 4 is 0. So, okay. So the answer for the lag time should be 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So be careful. When you borrow from the 32, right? Technically 3200 is 3160. So you have to add 60 seconds to that 30. Okay? So you have to be careful when you have this math. Okay? So the lag time should be 2 minutes and 50 seconds, which means that the epicenter distance is what? Well, let's look. Right? Did you guys use the Wedgie method?
Yes.
Right? So when you do the Wedgie method, you got page 11, right? I got 1,000, but I don't have this done. I can't do it on like right now in front of me. So if it's 2 minutes and 50 seconds, we're talking about this much right here. Right? I want you guys to all try it and make sure that I'm not crazy. Right? So if it's 2 minutes and 50 seconds, right, you take your paper, right, and then you wedge it through here. Owen, you may be right. I think Owen's right. 2, 4, 6. I think it's 1,600.
Yeah, 16 or 18.
Did everybody get 1,600? All right. So then the distance for the epicenter distance should be 1,600. Then the P wave travel time is what?
I have to check it since I got it wrong.
Okay. Everybody do it with me.
3 minutes, 20 seconds.
Okay, and then what's the S wave?
Around, like, about 6 minutes.
Right, so then the origin time is
4:26:20.
let's see, so if it's 4:29:40 minus 3:20, that's 20, that's 26. Yep, 4:26:20. Did everybody get that? Does anybody have any questions? Because now would be the time to ask before we move on. Yes.
I was kind of confused with the travel time.
With the travel time?
Yeah.
So the travel time is the easier of the two because it's just reading the chart, right? Once you get on here, right, as 1600, you go up till you hit the line, right, and then you go over. Each one of these notches on the y-axis is worth 20 seconds, okay? Each one of the notches or each one of the lines on the bottom is worth 200, right? Because it's 1,000, 1,200, 14, 16, 18, 2,000, right? So when you're doing this, if you're at 1,600 and you go up till you hit the P line and you go over, you're on that first line after the 3. So that tells me it's 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay? For the S line, when you go up till you hit the S, it's pretty much on 6 minutes exactly. Okay? So the travel time is a little bit easier because you're just reading the chart. The wedgie method is a little bit harder. So for those of you who missed it yesterday, let me see if I can actually show you this. Let's see. Okay. Where am I? There I am. Okay. So, right, for the wedgie method, right, you line up your scrap piece of paper. I already have marks on mine because I just did it, right? And you line it up, and anywhere you want, you put the 0 tick mark. Okay, so you put this as 0 on your paper, right? We said it took 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So you may have to pull it back a little bit so that you can actually see where the lines are. I know it doesn't refocus for some reason. I'm sorry about that. Okay, but since, like we were just saying, each one of these lines is worth 20 seconds. So we go up to 2, 220, 240, then halfway in between is going to be 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Good so far. Now you're going to take your piece of paper, and the one major trick with this, guys, is if you look, you want to make sure that your straight edge is even with one of the already written lines in here, because you don't want to do it like this. This is not going to get you the answer. Okay, that does not work. You need your piece of paper to be vertical and specifically perpendicular to the x-axis. So you keep moving this in until both of these lines, you see now how the 0 hits the P line and the 2 minutes and 50 seconds hits the S line. That means when I go straight down, it's going to be 1,600 kilometers. That's called the wedgie method. It's really hard to do with one hand here, guys. Just so you know, I'm holding the camera. But you guys get the idea? You bring it in here and you bring it down until those 2 lines are hitting the S and the P line at the same time. Because remember, this whole section in between is the lag time. This is all the lag time. What you did on this piece of paper was figure out how big the lag time actually is, like physical space-wise, how big it actually is. So then when you go down the line where the space actually means the same on the graph as it does on your piece of paper, that is how far you went. Questions on that?
Kind of a simple question. So if you were to like
just make tick marks to represent the 0 and the time that you need that. Why not just use like the corner of the paper to mark a 0 and just make that one tick mark? Would it be easier or not?
It could be. It's really a personal preference kind of a thing. The only reason why I didn't do it is because I did it with one hand. So I had to make sure that, but you could start in the middle of the paper. Like this is just my core coverage for today, so that doesn't matter. You can use any piece of paper as long as it's flat. If you really want to use the bottom, like if you wanted to put your 0 all the way down at the bottom corner, you totally could. You don't have to, but you totally could.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? All right. You guys want me to keep going over this? It's a yes or a no. 50-50 chance of not getting it wrong.
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at problem number 3. All right? Do you guys want me to go over this stuff here too? The travel time and everything? Billy, did you do the travel time for this? Okay, so, all right, so that's a little bit of a problem. All right, guys, why don't I do this? Why don't I give you guys 5 minutes to do this section and the rest of the page? Okay, at least that way we can make sure you're doing this correctly, because this isn't difficult, quote unquote, and I say quote unquote because it can be difficult if you don't know what you're doing. So I want you guys to really do this. That means you need the hard copy of your reference table on your desk. You need to have a scrap piece of paper to use. You need to have this worksheet out. All right, if you want to work with someone, you can. All right, but I'm only giving you guys 5 minutes because then I want to, you know what, I'll give you guys 10 minutes because then I want to go over it. All right, so we'll set a timer for 10 minutes. Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes and counting.
If you finish it for homework like you were supposed to, I want you to help other people if they have questions.
I don't know if one of the keys actually started. I used to see it. Because I just all of them, because I did it. So it doesn't go here or here.
Pretty much here, like right when it starts to go up. But if you look when it starts to go up, it's a straight line. So if you wanted to do the peak, you could.
Okay, so just do the first.
Yeah.
Okay, because I did it last time and I just didn't.
Yeah, so it's really just where the P wave starts. But it pretty much is that. It's personalized.
So there's like S3.
Yeah. Maybe the bigger one. Yeah. That's what it usually. Go. Good. Remember, you are on 60, so yeah. Good. Okay. Deep focus. We'll go with deep focus.
Good grammar and spelling are important,
crap.
but if you want to write essays that inspire, messages that for
We'll be right back. So you borrow a minute and you get it, right? 9 minutes and 0 seconds is the same way of saying 8 minutes and 60 seconds, right? So you add 60 to this 20. Yeah, just but you don't want to forget that is 8 minutes and 60 seconds added to this, otherwise you're stuck 60, 40, 80, and 40. No problem. Well, you don't need to make it. What you're going to think is 550 minus 40 is like 1,000. So you push the hoop. So you do 4 minutes and 60, or 4, yeah, maybe 460, right, because there's 50, yeah, you could always do that.
So how many people are taking the Regents for their time?
50.
50? A lot of kids.
Out of what? 800?
It's still a lot. Yeah, like, parents are strict.
One of my friends are taking it so she can get $200 if she gets like a
Oh, is that the friend we were talking to earlier?
I think I would take it too at that point.
Nah, I don't feel funny, so I thought.
Probably should have.
What's the positive attitude because I'm positive about it?
I guess, yeah.
I can't pass your class, I definitely can't pass the class.
Sometimes my class is harder than the region.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes.
for the epicenter distance, right?
Hold on. Pause.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
for the epicenter distance for 1 minute and 40 seconds, it kind of lands in the middle of like what is it, 6 and 8. So can I round to the nearest one, or the one that looks near?
For between 6 and 8. What's between 6 and 8?
Oh, 7, yes.
7. So it's gonna be 700, right?
Yes, thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
Done? Let's compare answers.
Okay. Alright, so let's start.
For the P-wave,
No, epicenter distance. P-wave travel time.
I think the P-wave travel time for the 500 kilometer at center distance, I think it's 2,000.
No, you're getting a time. You're not getting a time.
Oh, right, yeah, I do that. I think you gotta make sense of that. That's way too Let's see.
So did you get times for all of those?
Yeah, I should have gotten time for all of them.
No, but did you get distances instead? For all
Yeah,
of them?
I did the wrong thing.
You did the opposite.
Yep,
It was fun.
I'm sorry, I'm not a very good
It's
one.
okay. It's part of practicing.
Thanks, so this like
You
no
did probably 3 and 4 too.
Let's get dollars.
Well, that
So there'll be like no quizzes. After this, there's just gonna be no.
pretty much.
This is the
As of right now, you do not have a quiz on that, right?
This is one of the 2 classes I have a final for. I have a religion final.
It's not a final. It's a quarter 4 cumulative exam. You can't call it a final. You cannot call it a final, because then I get in trouble.
If SFP is all about charity, then why don't we donate all the excess walk?
About what?
Why don't we donate all excess walk funds?
We did.
Wow, where are you donating from? Awesome.
Wait, the SF teachers, they will give back to people in need here. But any of the other stuff that we get, that's donated to, there's like 4 different locations that we donate to. But a lot of places right now, because of COVID, aren't taking any donations. That they can't get the, like, food donations that have to be delivered directly to the food bank. It can't even come here first and then the food bank.
What about the food drive? Wasn't that like,
That's why we canceled. Because it had to go, because originally the drive-by food drive was supposed to happen here, it was like the drive and drop. But a lot of the food pantries themselves would not take anything that was delivered here first.
even if,
It had to be delivered directly to them.
even if, yeah?
I put together the Target list and the Amazon list, and it took me like 4 hours. And then they were like, no, we want it to this particular location. Like,
Oh, when?
no.
Oh, at Big Break. For 5,000 kilometers for the P-way travel time, I think it's 15.
No, you have the, that's the SOA.
Dang it.
8 minutes, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That's way is
on my phone.
It's just because, it's just because you have it backwards. So you're going to the S line instead of the P line.
Why does a giant P on it?
The P line's the bottom one, right?
I'm guessing we're going over this. That's
Mhm.
120.
Alright, I think I know how to do this. I think I know that.
Okay.
800 kilometers,
Uh-huh.
so over here. We have to go up.
Uh-huh.
I would like to say roughly 1 minute and 45 or one.
No, we're rounded to the nearest 10.
Oh, okay, then I'll round it to 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Good.
Yay!
Okay, so let's go over this really quick. At 5,000 kilometers, the P-way travel time is 8 minutes, 20 seconds. The S-way travel time is
15 minutes.
Even. Okay? At 800 kilometers, the P-wave travel time is 1 minute and 50 seconds. The S-wave travel time is 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay? At 4,400 kilometers, it should be 7 minutes and 40 seconds. 40 seconds. The S-wave should be 13 minutes, 40 seconds. You got 13:30? You got 13:40. Anybody else? Double check and make sure, Owen, that I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm not infallible. Okay? At 6,200 kilometers, I have the P-wave travel time at 9 minutes and 40 seconds. The S-wave travel time of 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, so now we're going to turn the tables. If you have the P-wave travel time is 3 minutes and 20 seconds, the epicenter distance is what?
1,600.
1,600. How'd you do? Good. Guys at home, how'd you do?
Good.
Good. Okay, 1 minute, 40 seconds should be the epicenter distance of 200.
What?
Did I do it wrong?
I got 7.
Did I do that wrong?
Yeah, I got 700.
Okay, it could be me. It's totally okay. So what would we say? 1 minute, 40 seconds? And then the P-wave travel. Oh yeah, you guys are way right. Should be 700. See, I told you I'm not perfect. 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Did you guys get 2,200 kilometers?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute you got
200.
200?
I got 4.
Yeah, I got 400. Because remember, you did the S-wave, that's why.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, so it should be 400 kilometers.
That's where we're all wrong.
Okay? At the S-wave travel time of 4 minutes, the epicenter distance should be,
1,000.
you got 1,000? See, I got just shy of 1,000.
1K.
4 minutes. Nope, you guys are right, it's 1,000. Okay, at 2 minutes and 40 seconds, what'd you get? 600 kilometers. At 10 minutes,
2,900.
2,900. 3,000. So let's look. 10 minutes. Go over. Oh, it's just shy. Yeah, I would say it's 2,900. But if you put 3,000, I probably would give you credit for it.
Because it was like totally not on it, that was just totally in the middle. So
I would probably say it's either 2,900. I would say if this was a Regents question, it would either be 2,900 or 3,000. It would give me the range. Or if this was a multiple choice, just one of the two would be there, and probably 3,000 would be there. Okay? At 23 minutes, what'd you get? 9,600. How'd we do on all those, guys? Good. Guys at home, how'd you do?
Good.
Good. Okay, so problem number 3. The P wave arrival time should be,
108.
what, 108? I got
Well-
107.50.
I got the same.
No, but it's like closer
think-
to the
yeah.
108.
Yeah.
If you draw a line down, it's closer to the 108. You know?
I got it. Yeah, but it's the first
I got the
spike.
same as Mr.
Let's
No,
look.
look.
No, it's not one.
Miss Gonzalez, like, draw the line down. If you draw the line down, you get this.
If you draw the line down, okay,
Whoa, careful what you do about it. It's not
Right.
serious, it's just a game.
look, it's 107.50.
Yeah. Because when I draw it down, it's like.
I thought it was because how they
It's
wrote
right in the
it,
middle.
how they had
It doesn't, it has to be directly on the 108 for it to be the 108. Okay, so it's 107.50. The S wave arrival time should be 109.
I got 109.
I got 109.
No, you're right, 109.20. What did I do here?
Wait, 20 or 10?
20. It's so hard to do this. Because I can't zoom in. No, it's 109.10.
So that's what I got. No, it's still-
Okay, so is the lag time. What is the lag time, guys?
30 seconds.
So it's gonna be 8 and 70, so it's gonna be 1 minute 20 seconds,
30. Oh, yeah. No.
right? Because if it's 109.10,
My bad.
right? Let's do the math.
You're bad.
It's okay. 09. Right, 109.10 we said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, minus 105, what is it? 107.50? Right, so when we do this, we borrow 1 from here, so this is 860, so this turns into 70, right? So it should be 0, 01, 20, right? Make sure you do the math.
How does it get to 870?
Because you add 60, right? 9 minutes and 00 seconds is the same thing as saying 8 minutes and 60 seconds. But we don't have 9 minutes and 00, we have 9 minutes and 10. So you have to add the 60 to that 10 seconds that are already there. All right, guys, so tomorrow we will continue with death, destruction, and despair. All right. Bye, guys. Be good. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Bye.